Good people, what's up? What's good? You guys are listening to another episode of your favorite podcast, Connecting the Dots. It's your boy Caleb Smith.
And I am Kimmy Coco.
Kim, you've had a very eventful weekend. What's been going on?
Well, it wasn't really that eventful. I just went to Freaknik yesterday. It was nice. I hope they have it be an annual thing.
Okay.
Man, the standout performer for me was Lil Scrappy.
Are you serious?
He went off, bruh. He went off. And you kind of forget how many hits.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
But you hear him on like the radio or whatever, but
Yeah.
you hear him doing it live and you feel that energy.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what? Oh my God, that was the shit.
That's
Like,
crazy.
Get on my level, ho. Get on my level, ho. I was
That's
like,
good.
yeah. Lil Scrappy, the whole
That's
crunk era was so dope.
That's what's up.
I don't know if you guys were around then.
We were. We was like.
Are you guys old enough to remember that?
I was
your
I was in
childhood
elementary
music.
school, bro.
Right.
When, like Pastor
Like the
Troy,
crunk
everybody.
music-
Yeah.
Oh, Pastor Troy.
Yeah.
8Ball and MJG.
Yeah.
What?
See, we know a little something about that.
No,
Little
man.
shum.
I know all about that.
Yeah.
And I had a good time. My homegirl flew down from Jersey for the day.
That's dope.
And we just was like wilding out. But that was always my wild out friend. So you know my father is from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about him all the time on the show. And that's kind of what made a part of the idea for the show come along, because we kind of need people to understand not only the age between younger and older and just like the regional differences. And I think that there's some things that we could clear up as a community about each other.
Right.
Or just put out there, dispel some myths. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we are all that we really have. And once you understand, because like when we were having that conversation last episode about the electoral college and what states mean what and how some states are more important, so candidates spend more time there, blah, blah, blah. Some people just might not know that.
That's
real. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that simple. Because when you hear it on the news or whatever, you hear other people talk about it, they're talking about it in ways when they're just like very, they use the political shit.
It's like, I don't even know what
are
they're
you
talking about.
right?
Yeah,
it's
that's
as simple as this, boom.
Yep.
So anyway, I had a really good time. Uncle Luke.
Yeah, you had a.
So I didn't want any millennials there. Like in my life, I just need our own space. But there were a lot of millennials there. So the DJ that did the DJing in between sets played a lot of like the stuff I went there not to hear.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Everybody
That's dope.
just had a good time, and it's such a stress relief. So anyway, going back to why I was talking about the crunk scene. The crunk scene back then, when they were going on interviews and they were doing tours when they first came out, Lil Jon and East Side Boys, they broke so many records around just the world, the country. Everybody could relate to that. That's the party music. Yin Yang Twins were there.
Dang, that's crazy.
I mean,
Legends.
now they play that at corporate events. To the window.
Yeah.
To the wall. Like,
those legends.
they could probably not make any more songs. I don't
Nah.
know. Like, I would love to look up and see how much money they made off of those songs.
You're still touring.
But those are,
off of that.
yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun.
And your Instagram was crazy. I saw
I
the
was just showing
videos.
people.
Girls getting picked up.
Yeah, that was
okay,
crazy.
look at y'all.
Yeah, we had a good time. I was like, yeah, you know what? Thinking about that, yeah, we're the parents of the kids that are out now.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
We birthed these ones, and we
Y'all taught us how to be crazy.
I'm like, yeah, those are our
Especially
kids.
after seeing the videos. I'm like, Kim was talking about us. Y'all do it.
Wow.
Things 10 times worse.
Freaknik, it was crazy. Just
Yeah.
imagine, Freaknik was supposed to start off as a concert, but they couldn't get licenses. Like, imagine being a promoter or a venue owner back then, and the Yin Yang Twins want to come, and the crowd that it's going to bring. It was this place called The Bounce that I used to go to.
Okay.
And it was just crazy,
Wow.
but we had our sections. We had our clubs that were just specifically for that, like the crunk scene or whatever. But anyway, they couldn't get a license. They couldn't get a place to have it. So people just like spilled on into the street and just was like just out. And so everybody just came and hung out. And it became a big thing, at the park. And back then it was a big thing to have system in your trunk. Do y'all still do that? No, huh?
I mean, I ain't got it.
I had some tins before. They got stolen, but the factory stuff, they good now. Like, I got Bose in my car.
Wow.
Yeah, like the regular, technology
Bose,
is,
like,
all electronics is evolved now. But back then, they used to put like speakers like from the house.
People back at home, they do. I mean, they subwoofers. You talking about the subwoofers?
I don't know. What is it?
Yeah,
do you know?
Subs.
Is that what they call them? Subwoofers?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
My pop still got them in his car. Like, my homies at home, they still got them. They got 212s and all that.
That's what's up.
People still do that. People still do that.
It is. It's very. I'm with you on that. Yeah, I'm with y'all. I don't like that. But anyway,
he had 6 12s.
Dang.
that's what it was back then. But yeah, I hope they still have it. Foxy Brown didn't show up, but
Oh, she did it?
I forgot that until this morning. I'm like, somebody was supposed to be there. I forgot all about it.
Dang.
The Brat did her thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but Juvie.
Hey, you like Juvenile?
I
That's
like
Bay?
his songs.
Who he had with him? He have anybody from Cash Money with him? Manny Fresh one with him?
Nah, it was just him and Project Pat.
He was good.
I love Project Pat. Missing on Play is one of my favorite albums. That is what it is. When I grew up, I had to go. My parents sent me down south in the summer. So all my cousins.
That's how you got exposed to
yeah,
everything. Yep. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would come home and be like, it was a couple of my homegirls, like
Yeah.
our parents were from the South. And, we'll come back to school like, yo, did you hear this? And we'll be talking about 8-Ball and MJG. That was like the first time I heard it. And when I came back home, I was telling everybody about it. And
That's
I was
dope.
like, Mr. Big, Mr.
Yeah.
Big.
It's like, who
They
is
call me
this?
Mr. Big. And then every once in a while, like one of the new, like Funkmaster Flex was really a big DJ. And like, he would break songs. But we'll be like, oh, we heard that when we were down south. So it would be like, every year, he would introduce the East Coast to a new down south song that's popping down south. And one of the big ones I'll never forget was Bout It, Bout It. When that song came on in Newark, New Jersey, at the at the bar, everybody was on it. Because it was like you could relate to that. Because it was, even though it was somewhere you probably never been, if you could see that the hood was like your hood.
That's dope.
Yeah, so anyway.
Kim with the memories.
Yeah, you could hear me here all day talking about that. So we were going to talk about a couple of things today. Caleb.
Yeah, black athletes. That's going to be really cool to talk about because you was already talking about that earlier before we started filming. Facebook currency, which is weird. Reparations hearing. Ta-Nehisi Coates. So that's going to be a fun topic.
Yeah.
And last but not least, Philly police in the city of Philadelphia.
So what do y'all, since we were already talking about sports, we'll start off with black athletes. So when we were discussing this topic, we brought it up because we saw a trend in black athletes being disrespected by fans.
Yeah.
And then we came to find out that the most recent one that went off during the finals.
Yeah.
Was it Kyle Lowry?
Yeah. Kyle Lowry.
He got pushed by someone in the audience, and we come to find out it was actually an owner.
Yep.
And so, we talked about the fans' treatment, and I was like, I think we said that's kind of a reflection about the ownership and how they feel about, what they allow and how they punish them is going to set a precedent for in the future.
That's right.
So, the guys were talking about it, and what did you say? What did you come up with?
I mean, it's the same old, same old. I think that it's been exposed more recently, with the Donald Sterlings of the world and stuff, even years ago, that owners view black athletes as this gladiator type or somebody, like, you're just supposed to entertain. And you're part of my entertainment. So I get to touch you if I feel like touching you. I get to scream at you, yell obscenities and things like that. Because I think Boogie Cousins, when they were in Boston, he was called nigga like 10 times. And one of the fans, he got banned. So that...
Yeah, they started banning fans, and they find this dude. They find him like
500,000, but
I thought it was 200,000.
Uncle Shay, Shannon Sharp, he actually broke it down. 500,000 to anybody probably sounds like, dang, like that's a lot of money. But they said for the owner, who's worth, I think it's billions, 500,000 to him, it's like him paying $22. So it's nothing. So him getting that fine is just like a little smack on the wrist. But
and he got suspended or banned for the
whole year. But it's like he got a lot of things that he can be doing.
That was over already when it happened.
No, next year. It's upcoming season. So we'll see what happens.
I think that also social media plays a part in that because you get to say what you want to say without consequence, right? And then you think you paid $60,000. I heard was the price for a ticket on the floor.
So for him, $60,000 is probably like a nickel, a quarter. So it's cheap, but I think that it's really been exposed because in any other profession, if somebody ran into somebody or something, like you wouldn't push them back or you wouldn't see owners putting hands on people.
That's what I said. You know what it's going to come down to? You're going to have to Ron Artest one of their ass.
Steven Jackson, he said that. He said that owner, he got lucky. And then, too, I think as well.
Because he hit him first. Now, what if he would have just started swinging on him?
He would have been right to me. And Steven Jackson, what he said, and I was like, dang, like, that's so true. If they were walking down the street right now he would not have the courage at all to even try to push somebody that's 6'7" and black. But he knows that in that type of setting, he can get away with that. And I think that, with the white fans, I don't like how they try to act scared with somebody like Russell Westbrook when he snaps on them. Because I think he was in Utah when a guy, he was screaming at him, and Russ was like, I'm going to F you and your wife up. And the guy, he tried to say, like he's trying to threaten me and stuff. So I don't know.
Why are the seats that close? Did anybody ever?
A lot of people say that.
Experience, I guess.
I mean,
a lot of people say that.
But when I think from my understanding, you like when you buy those tickets, like on the back of it, it got like a whole disclaimer talking about
you can't sue
if
us
you get
if
hit.
you get hit.
Yeah, like
okay.
If they fall on you and you get injured, all that, like so. I mean, they know what they signing up for.
That's facts. It's just something has to change because it shows that, especially when it comes to black athletes, like they aren't viewed when it comes to having respect. They aren't viewed as human beings.
As soon as someone has a political
agenda
or just a view and they voice it, like LeBron, shut up and dribble.
Right.
And that's
you're
why
not the
that's
this.
why I
You're not
respect
the
LeBron,
that.
like off the court, like he got this whole more than the athlete movement.
Right.
And as much as people criticize his move to Miami, look at the NBA now. Like everybody is taking ownership. Like they were just talking about Kawhi and KD. It was like they was talking about them being free agents,
moving
and
around.
if you think about it, like you could tell winning is not important to them. Money is not important to them because they on two winning teams. Kawhi just won the championship.
That's real.
KD is on a winning team.
Yeah.
These two teams can get these players the max contract.
That's facts.
Why would they consider leaving that?
That's
and
facts.
It just comes to like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. Like,
yeah.
And that's the time.
That's what you got.
Control the narrative.
You have to do them the way they want to.
He did start
LeBron
that.
LeBron was the one that started that. He basically empowering the players. Even for LeBron to speak up on all these topics that's going on in the news, like for him to even write a whole paragraph about that owner, like he didn't have to do that.
But he did
And
it.
just like, man, I'm more than an athlete.
Yeah.
I'm
a human being.
He's a husband. He's
Activist.
Black man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I respect that. And two, I think that it shows when white people and white fans, when they get frustrated at somebody like LeBron or even, somebody at KD or whoever that's voicing their opinions, Colin Kaepernick, because they think that you as a black athlete, you're just supposed to entertain. And you're not supposed to be intelligent. You're not supposed to be smart. You're just supposed to go out there, get buckets, score touchdowns. And that's it.
And the soccer players go through it all the time because, they go from country to country.
Mm-hmm.
And Raheem Sterling, he was a target of racist remarks, and he spoke up against it, and Nike backed him up. They let him, as a part of his campaign, say something about him having been targeted. But the owners, they need to just put some systems in place to protect their workers. Like if I work somewhere, I want you to stop people from being able to just
harass me. Yeah.
Back to your point.
At work.
Like,
yeah, that's true.
Go
that's
back
true.
to your Nike point. I got a lot of respect for Nike.
Me too.
Remember, the Colin Kaepernick thing came out. I'm like, oh, it's a gimmick. But
are they
actually really,
okay?
Hijabs.
Both ways,
but
though.
no, LeBron being one of their top people, standing behind him, even with him being outspoken. For them to have Colin Kaepernick on there, with what was going on in the NFL commercial.
There you go.
And then, like you just said with that soccer player, like it seems like what they're doing is genuine.
And they make the head coverings for Muslim women now, hijabs. Yeah, and they make those.
Dope. That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Nike.
Yeah, it's very progressive. But I mean, something has to change. Kim, what suggestions would you have for somebody who's seeing sports? Like, what do you think owners should possibly implement in order to change it?
Put some systems in place where you protect the players.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't stop anybody from saying something.
Right.
But you can definitely stop them from being able to touch the people. Maybe move them back. Like, what Drake was doing was too much for me.
Yeah,
I get
massaging the coach and stuff.
I mean, every time, you got to see him. Like, why? Why am I looking at Drake right now? Like, I'm watching this basketball game.
Yeah, Spike Lee was like that.
Spike Lee was not.
Him and Reggie Miller, they used to go at it.
He wasn't.
What do you think, Elliot? Do you think Spike Lee, Drake was going
him and Reggie Miller, they used to go at it.
The thing about Drake, they gave him like a little square to stand on. They gave Drake a little spot to stand on the sideline where it was like he was almost like a cheerleader.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
and he really didn't realize that. I mean, you rooting for your team, I get it, but why should you have the more special treatment? And after a while, I think they told him like, yo, you can't be down here like that. Like,
yeah, ambassador too for the team.
Yeah, even still. Yeah, even still, he got a
Ambassador
share
or
in it
something
or
like
whatever.
that, yeah.
You can't be on the sidelines interjecting yourself into the game. Spike just sat down
Spike was
on
like
his
2
chair,
seats back.
and the only time he got up anytime was he was mad at the ref or something like that. So.
Right.
Him and Reggie, he used to be like this to Reggie. They used to do the choke.
Even
they
the players,
used to cuss at
but
each
then
other.
they knew that he wouldn't get up from that seat to go.
We just see it more because it's more of an entertainment.
Social media too right now as well.
You've never seen. Trust me. You've never seen Spike standing up, touching the players. Like I remember when Kevin Durant was I think before he went to he was in Oklahoma. I'm sorry, and he went to go walk past Drake, and Drake said something to him, and KD looked back and was like, "This is early before any of this."
Kendrick Perkins too.
And he was and KD was like, "Nigga, I'm punching your sports bra."
Yeah, it is.
Like, who you talking to, dude? Like, you're real. Just this guy. I'm the player.
Yeah,
you're not on the team.
That's fact.
Drake got KD tatted on him. He got his face tatted.
Yeah, like what's that?
Yeah.
They cool actually.
I mean, yeah.
Him and Draymond too. Like, you know how people, just play around, call each other trash. But I feel it. And I think at the same time, do you think that it'll be more of an issue if he was white?
Nah.
All right.
I just think that he should know his place in the stadium like everybody else. I mean, like,
yeah.
A lot of players and people have a stake in these teams, no different than the shareholder owner dude that thought he could just sit there and get mad because he jumped on the girl. Like, dude, like, you're at a game.
Yeah, it's part of it.
You can't touch this dude and push him, and and he was conscious enough to know that. And he
called him a name too. Yeah,
he ain't go after the dude or nothing like that.
I think
that was swift get out right there.
Yeah, Spike was going hard. Yeah,
I think that.
Nah.
Like, they ain't like Spike at first neither. He had to work his way to be a Jack Nicklaus or.
And two, like we talking about a black dude in the '90s sitting front row at Madison Square Garden.
Man, Spike is
like, who is this?
Well-known Knicks fan, and any player will say they did not mind him being on the sidelines. Even Reggie Miller when he did that.
Oh yeah, he enjoyed it.
Because what you understand is now Spike interjected himself into the game, and it proved the outcome of the game. Because he did that.
Yeah.
So when you talk about and you ain't nobody could back then ask Greg Anthony because he did get pushed when Reggie Miller went up for the shot, instantly went down. Wow. He pushed Greg Anthony down, grabbed the ball, whack. Yeah. But we didn't have no one to go ask him that.
Yeah.
It was uncalled for that at a post game. Greg Anthony wasn't gonna get to talk.
Yeah.
Today, maybe. But back then, no. The play was just done over. Spike, you gotta chill.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what happened because he felt embarrassed himself because he egged him on.
Yeah.
So Spike,
he poked the bear.
He didn't go that far after that, but that was the most that he pretty much did.
Yeah. But then, I think the attitude overall, not just, because of that, but just period, even in media, is that athletes are just there for your entertainment. You know what I mean? If you want to poke and prod them,
you can.
But
it's a circus.
Black athletes though.
Yeah,
right.
That's the point because you don't
athletes,
see Tom Brady.
Black athletes.
Right.
Tom Brady's not accessible like that.
True. Exactly. And that's a big argument.
In football, think about. Well, I know at Ohio State, football is big there.
Yeah.
And what's the quarterback name? What's his name? What's it? Dwayne Haskins.
Yeah. What year are you talking about?
He just came to he won. Whatchamacallit got hurt. I can't think of his
name.
You
talking about Cardell Jones?
Yeah, Cardell Jones.
Yeah.
So I was still going there when this happened, but he tweeted it was we was in school for summer because I was going to class. He tweeted
school is dumb or something like
I'm
that.
not here to play school. I came here to play football. And just every time an athlete would get their opinion, I would see people students I know man, just shut up and play football. We want to watch you play football. We don't want to hear your opinion and this and that.
And that's how it is.
That's just how it is. But you don't hear that from no white white athletes are not
right.
outspoken.
Just I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. In Houston, J.J. Watt.
Oh yeah.
Is
a god.
Jesus. No. He raised all that money for Hurricane Harvey.
Trader Truth did as well.
Trader Truth did too. Mm-hmm. But some people are like, well, where's all the money going?
I've been hearing that too.
They weren't really clear. We talked about that in a previous episode.
Yeah. And
they were saying okay, well, where's all the money that we gave you? But it's he does no wrong in their eyes. He can say what he wants to say, do what he wants to do. Mm-hmm.
Because I think white athletes don't challenge America. Like when it comes to us,
because they're
with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the representatives.
Facts.
Of it.
So I think that when it comes to a black athlete, if he brings up police brutality or if he talks about, we're not respected as much as our white counterparts, stuff like that, then people from the white audience are probably saying, bro, why are you even talking about this? And proof to that point, Stephen A. Smith. Y'all remember earlier this week, Stephen A. posted R.J. Barrett. He posted John Morant. And he was saying, like, it's a really cool thing seeing black parents and black fathers being there for their black sons at the draft. And then Stephen A., he got a whole bunch of flack because in the comments, they were like, why are you bringing race into the conversation, that there's white fathers too, but simply by Stephen A.
But I don't know where this misconception comes from that black people don't have fathers.
It's a stereotype.
Because, sometimes I'll be online.
Where it come from, that's a narrative that they push.
And Stephen A., he was saying that.
And even think about to the Willie Lynch, how they separated, like that goes all the way back to that. How they always took the male out and the mom had to raise. So that's just a narrative they didn't push. And then for us to have, like, I know we about to talk about it next, but just for us to have these black fathers like LeVar, like, even though he I expect that from a father, like, in Little League, it was fathers like that. Like, he's just a passionate father. I don't think nothing he's doing is wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree. And
I think that, going into our next topic about, is it LeVar?
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about that now. That's a perfect segue then.
Yeah. So the narrative about black fathers, what I was saying is sometimes if I'm on social media and I am commenting on a subject or something like that, because like I said, to me it seems like the Republicans, the conservatives, the right, the left wing, the whatever you want to call them, the racists, the Trump supporters, whatever you want to call those people, they're playing chess, okay? They're on social media being social media soldiers, trolls, whatever you want to call them. They will say what they have to say, push their agenda, put their opinion on everything. And sometimes when I say what I have to say, just to show them, plant the seed or show them the opposing view, the first thing they come for me as a form of disrespect or try to intimidate me is, because you don't know you probably need to go look for your dad. What? To me, it's funny because actually this one specific time I remember, the picture of my profile picture was of me and my dad, number one. And number two, why do y'all think that? So recently, tell them what happened, Caleb.
That's a great point that you just said. I was listening. That's crazy though, because again, I don't know about this stereotype and people thinking that it's always so true. Like, all of my friends that I grew up with, I'll probably say only about 2 or 3 of them didn't have their father. Everybody else had fathers. And I think with somebody like LeVar Ball, he's outspoken, unapologetic. And I think that they were finding any reason to make sure that he could be muted.
So tell them what happened.
On First Take, I've been saying this for a while. I don't want to get nobody fired, but I feel like Molly Karam that she should not be on that show because I feel like she's not good. Nah, hey, I'm just being real. And after seeing the show, I mean, she's doing her thing. Jalen Rose's wife. But I saw the clip of LeVar. He was on First Take, and she asked him, hey, we're going to switch gears. And LeVar, he made the comment.
Well, let me tell you before we get into that, why context. She's there. Right.
Oh,
well, why?
Yeah. You can break that down.
She's pretty, and men need to have eye candy from a marketing and promotion standpoint.
And we see this, and you're not just saying this because we see this on Undisputed. We see this on First Things First.
I mean, they don't really say anything.
It's the same model.
That's
type.
really hurting y'all, like women, because
it's
some beautiful women that's intelligent. You
Carrie
feel me?
Champion.
Like Carrie.
Yep.
Even the chick that was on what you call it on
There's one on ESPN.
Joy Taylor.
Yeah, she doing
Robin Roberts. She's versed in sports.
What's the girl's name? Taylor, tall. No, not Taylor Brooks, but yeah, it's Taylor Brooks as well. But Marisa Taylor, I think.
Are you guys all talking about female?
Not Carrie Champion. She's the tall one. She did the draft, but her last name's Taylor. And even with her, one thing I noticed, she doesn't do those debate shows. She just does the reporting, or she does all the other stuff. So I think that she's trying to stay out of that. Carrie Champion, she was done with First Take, and she was trying to grow. So I think that women, just like what you said, have to stop taking those traditional roles of, hey, I'm gonna just sit here.
secretary role.
There you go. moderator. Yeah, that's it. But you know, Molly, she's cool. Like, don't get me wrong, she's earned it. I remember when she was on NFL Network, ESPN News. But I just feel like she's not a good fit for the show because sometimes she could be too emotional sometimes, or she can talk or over talk people. But just hearing that whole thing with LeVar, right, and then she'll be yelling at people and stuff. No, that's exactly how she is. That's her. We got to go to a commercial. But it's just after seeing everything that happened, do you guys feel like it was taken out of context with LeVar? Because I feel like that's a lot of gray area. Him saying we can switch gears anytime. Well, let's tell them what happened
because maybe they don't know.
All right, so Molly again, she was trying to segue. She said we can switch gears. And then LeVar, he made the comment, Molly, we can switch gears anytime. But he said it like in a funny way.
He was like, we can switch gears anytime.
Yeah, but it's like...
You can switch gears with me anytime.
Yeah. That's what he said. But I mean, even if you felt like he was sexual, he's married. And then Tariq Nasheed, I love him, man. He posted this, and this is why you got to hold people accountable. Jamel Hill, she reposted this saying...
You got to make him come here because you love him. And
Tariq Nasheed, man, he's been here a few times. Yeah.
He haven't been here.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Here?
Yeah. Brandon and Maurice show. Yeah, he was on twice.
I'm not talking about nobody.
Oh, you talking about connecting the dots?
Okay?
Yeah, we gonna get him here.
Damn show.
We gonna get him here. We gonna get him here. But part of the family. But yeah, we'll get him here. But he posted a picture, and Jamel Hill, she made this on post saying what LeVar did was so disgusting, yada yada yada. And then Tariq Nasheed posted this picture of Gronk dancing on Jamel Hill, and he was like twerking on her. So he was like, "Is this cool?" So Gronk, he can dance on you and stuff, but LeVar, we don't even know what he meant with sexual, and now he's banned from ESPN.
She's weird. I really, really like her. Mm-hmm. I like her.
She's a weirdo.
Weird. Like I don't know. I agree with her on a lot of shit. She says everything that she says basically about politically, I agree with her on. Mm-hmm. I don't know what this is that I feel, but it's like
it's a little
whenever they had that thing where they fight her and people were boycotting her, I was behind her. Like, no, leave her alone. She said what she said. But it's just, so she came out and was agreeing with
everybody about LeVar saying that. See, that's what I said as well. I said the same thing.
It wasn't even that. When Stephen A. looked like immediately when he said that, I said, well, maybe it was fucked up. Because
but you know how Stephen A. is too. Like he likes to play around. He's extra. Yeah.
But I mean, just for him to have that immediate response, I mean, I'm like, is it because him and Jalen are real cool and he just felt uncomfortable?
I mean, him and Jalen are cool.
Yeah, it was your man. I mean, somebody you knew up there, your husband up there, and some woman said that to you, your husband. How would you feel?
I don't know.
I think that Jalen was there, I don't think he would have did it.
Dang.
I don't think he would have said that like that.
I think he would have. I think he would have said it to. Also, he would have said it to Ernie, the dude on TNT.
Oh yeah.
That's just the type of person he is. I think the conversation prior to him saying that was really hectic. They was trying to say something to him totally.
She was trying to segue.
I forgot what the conversation that he was having with
about
with
his son.
About Alonzo being traded.
Yeah, it was something like deep, right? And then when she said, "Well, let's switch gears for a minute," and then he was like, "Well, I feel like it was a relief for him." He was like, "You can switch gears." I ain't got to talk about that no more. Yeah, okay, you can switch gears with me anytime.
I mean,
let's talk about something more relevant. And that's the vibe that I.
He said, "You can switch gears with me anytime," just like that.
I definitely, it definitely sounds inappropriate, but I think they blew it out the water. Like I don't think he should have been banned from ESPN.
Banned, bro?
I feel like
How
they
you
should have just
banned?
gave him a warning. Let him know what was going on because they know like what type of person he is.
Okay, so
that's what I'm.
They know what type of person he is. Like
bro.
he's a smart aleck.
Yeah,
like, he's a smart aleck.
Can I ask you a question?
He's a troll.
Can I ask you a question?
He likes to have fun.
Can I ask you a question?
He always talk about the Lakers will never win a championship.
What does that mean?
They never gonna win a championship. Like,
Ban means
get on there.
no ESPN.
I think the actual words were inappropriate.
Yeah.
But that's just like the America that we live in, right? Like it's certain things that.
So why, if it's bad, why wasn't it bad when she said it to him in the first place?
Right.
Because she was segueing. She was segueing.
Yeah. Words, and I'm saying
but if it's just the words, why wasn't it bad when she said it? When she said to him,
verbiage.
"Can we switch gears?"
No, and I think
for a minute. Why wasn't it bad that she asked him that then?
No, because it was the way. I mean, just like we thinking, like, oh, damn, like he just said before the show, like what switching gears mean, like. But we knew she was talking about going to another topic.
How do you know that?
Because
she said let's switch gears.
She said, let's switch gears to another topic.
I think so too.
Yeah,
bro.
he probably was too. But the way it came off, like.
And he said it like that to her because she is a beautiful woman and any guy, I feel like
all those guys be flirting with Molly.
But no, it wasn't a flirt. It was like if it was an old lady.
They do.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, it could have
playfully though.
It could have been an old lady. Like at the end of the day, it wasn't a flirt.
Right.
It was. The way he said it was like if it was somebody's grandma up there and would have said, "Okay, let's switch gears." Oprah could have said, "Let's switch gears."
And then they'll be like, "Oh, that's funny."
He would have said the exact same way. Yes, Oprah, let's switch gears. You can switch gears. You can switch my gears anytime. He would have said it the exact same way.
Because too, it's like
know.
Because Kim, I will say this.
But why did she agree with them?
Oh, Cloud. Like
Jamel?
No, Molly has power with ESPN because her and Jalen, they got a strong dynamic. But two, I think if LeVar, if he's gonna be banned,
listen,
Will Kane, he said some wild stuff on.
This
First
is
Take
why
before.
when I used to hang out with guys all the time.
Yeah.
And some guys are just inappropriate as fuck, and you just like know they're inappropriate as fuck, and you just ignore them as much as you can. You're like, okay, dummy, like okay, like you know what I mean? But two, whenever my homeboys like, we don't want you to come. Like I had to take that because sometimes that they just don't feel like that energy, that weird energy. Somebody might say something inappropriately. Somebody might, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's just times when, like during sports, you guys need to have for ratings, for this, for that, to keep you guys entertained, to keep you guys looking. That's why they always throw like a token girl in a bikini in the middle of stuff for men. Keep watching. Yeah, like for sports and boxing, the girl with the bikini on. Like y'all need that. Y'all need that eye candy.
I mean, I don't. And I would say most.
Would you
most
still
men
watch
don't.
ESPN if there weren't women like in the middle of?
Yeah, we watch it for the sport.
Do you need them?
We're
Because
not really there for it.
Right. Nobody really like Molly.
Like even with boxing, I'm not watching boxing for the ring girl. I'm watching it and I think they just kind of balance that out because it's this gladiator sport.
Yeah.
And then they just put the woman.
Feminine aspect.
I'm not watching boxing. I'm not watching boxing like,
energy.
I wonder who the ring girl. I don't know a ring girl. I couldn't name a ring girl.
Right.
But I'm just saying.
If I see a ring girl, I couldn't even remember she was on the last fight. Like,
yeah.
So those girls just,
aesthetic. That's all what it is.
Right, and I think that she brushed it off.
But then afterwards,
the energy was all weird after that, though.
It's
I don't
just
know.
After he said that.
Yeah.
But
because Stephen A was acting like he never, like he said something like his reaction was like so dramatic. As soon as he said it, he was like,
Stephen A. like, bro, don't get me fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
At the same time,
right.
That goes back to their narrative. They want to quiet a black father.
Yeah, that's what we started off with.
Why would you ban him for that? Like,
ban, bro?
He didn't really like.
Yeah.
Ban?
That's necessarily banned.
Especially when you know why.
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
For the soundbite.
What type of person he is? Exactly.
Yeah.
And look, here's my only problem. Why did ESPN post a video on their YouTube channel then? If y'all had a problem with him saying that, why is it posted on your YouTube channel?
Because
and it has over
clicks.
1 million views.
They're doing it for the clicks.
Using him for the sound. And then, all right, so if he's banned, how come Will Kane, he's not banned for Will Kane having insensitive remarks about Native Americans, saying why he doesn't understand why people are up in arms about the Redskins logo or them being called the Redskins, so he's not going to get banned for that? So it's just like double standards.
Disrespectful to the white girl FS1 on the collar
But
shirt when he was like, I'm not talking to you.
But you remember he was like, but
LeVar?
he was like, I'm scared of her. But now I see what he was saying. Because I remember they were saying that the reason why he said that, because he's a white woman and he didn't want to say the wrong thing and it'll be taken out of context. And that's
Where's
what
he
happened
from? Isn't
2
he
years
married
later.
to a white woman?
Yeah.
Back to life.
What?
Hey, complexities of being a black person. Well, not in Atlanta, but in the world. Like, yeah, a dude can have a black wife, but you can still be afraid of being in trouble when it comes to white people, white women. That's still possible. But yeah, so I mean, who knows? But I think that's just hypersexualized, and that's crazy to me. But it is what it is.
Y'all so offended, and your daughter is probably in there listening to the City Girls. I was like,
I don't have a
everybody's
daughter,
so
kid.
easily offended.
I ain't got kids.
Please, I'm
What
not
does
talking about you.
the City Girl got to do with this?
I'm saying just insert inappropriate for a little kid to be listening to. Anything. That was just an example because they're popular right now. Okay.
Oh man.
I'm just saying, period.
The City Girls are
I
sexually
mean, why
liberated.
did that really offend people? Like, that just got on
What,
my nerves.
switching gears?
Yeah,
that's what I said,
Come on
too.
now.
Cancel culture, bro.
But we live in this world. I was talking to my grandma about this. Like, we live in this world where everybody but the black man is protected. Like, with a woman, they trying to protect the woman. Like, if she said that to him, that
they wouldn't
even like that would have just
leave
been
that man
bro,
alone.
and black, bro, what you just said is crazy.
Flirtation.
It is. It's a show, The Talk. It's a guy, DeMarco Morgan, I think. He's on CBS. But what's the black girl's name? Sherry Underwood, I think. Or
Cheryl?
one of them. Cheryl Underwood. One of them. I'm sorry.
That's
That's my
okay.
name. But
No.
Cheryl Underwood.
I'm
But
sure some people call her Sherry.
right. A lot of people probably call her Sherry. But she kissed this man on the cheek. And she started hugging on him.
But
when,
this
when
is
he
what
said
I'm
that he was
saying,
single.
like, back in
so
the day-
so let it be switched. Let a girl say that she's single and the male host kiss her on the cheek and start hugging on her. But that's
Whatever.
sexual assault.
Nah, real talk, bro.
It's that double standard. Hey, Steve said, pass me the mic, bro. What you got to say?
But the misconception, it could not be a misconception. But the conception is, well, this is what I think anyway, is that men like that shit. Like, you guys don't mind.
They like attention. Aisha?
Just how he was saying about the woman kissing the dude,
Yeah.
right? Man, I had a situation like 3 years ago. The girl, she was just always flirting with me. One time,
With
she
you?
Yeah, she just grabbed the shit out of me like. My dick
Oh
was
my!
Right, like I was talking to this other girl. I was like, bro, let me grab her titties or something like that, bro. I would have been like,
That's true.
fired,
Pedophile.
like, investigated through the jail, all this other shit.
You would have had to register as a sex
Yeah, you can't stay by the daycare.
offender,
Nothing.
like,
You got to be
all
100
this
feet
other
away.
Stuff. Now she just grabbed my shit. I'm
100
just
feet
supposed to take it. Like I felt violated. Like I was like, okay, this is what we doing. No, the double standards in America is crazy.
But I think what
My whole life would have been ruined if I even just like pinched a nipple. Like
right.
real talk.
I think that,
That's the truth.
Real talk.
That's the truth.
and I was talking about this yesterday at Freaknik, because I don't know if you saw my live or my stories or
crazy.
whatever, but it was some questionable shit going on that back in the day would have just been normal Freaknik shit.
Spring break.
But I saw it for the first time and I was like, wow, like, I hope that dude that was doing what he was doing on that video isn't like somebody famous or something, because homegirl would get a big old lawsuit.
My boy had her picked up.
He picked her up and he was bouncing
She
her
looked
around.
like she was enjoying it.
She looked like she was enjoying
But hey, you know
it.
she could flip that
But you
under
know
the
she
influence.
could flip that.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh,
with that.
son. So every week I notice
That
that
was weird,
I
bro.
notice every week that there's a meme that's funny that we bring up that we saw on social media. So speaking of Cuba Gooding Jr., there's a meme of him. He's got haircuts, but he's like
They
this.
doing him dirty,
and
bro.
they walking him to wherever, and the meme says, "Whenever I ring up 2 steaks as an avocado
That's man.
and self-checkout."
Bro, leave my boy alone, bro.
Hey, they killing me
Woo!
talking about some.
That was
Snow
so
Dog.
funny
They
to
talking about some
me.
y'all accusing radio of rape. Like radio ain't.
I forgot he didn't play radio, bro.
Y'all better leave Becky and them alone.
That's the thing, man.
That's what y'all. That's what happened.
I just think as men, we just got to be careful.
Chris Brown, he better not. Ooh, he better
What'd he
not
do?
ever complain again. He does it to himself, bruh.
What you mean?
He will. He just. Let me
be
keep my
commenting on
mouth
stuff?
shut about that. Y'all see.
I mean, we hear that.
Chris
He said he brought
Brown
it up.
is always getting brought up on some assault charges or something like that, but he's always inviting them little young white girls to his house, and then when they get there and they don't fuck them or whatever they think is supposed to happen don't happen, they call the cops.
Like, let's stop pushing, because when the last time he only got charged for one assault thing.
Listen,
It's the double standard we talking about, bro.
you don't remember when the helicopter was flying over his
I
house?
do remember that one,
and all
though.
of that?
That was,
But that's because
but
somebody
remember, hold on.
falsely
But
accused
remember,
him.
but let's go back to that story.
Yeah.
Who was reporting it? The only news outlet that reported that was TMZ.
Oh Lord.
They don't get it wrong.
No, the local,
As long as they get it
local
out.
news was out there too.
Oh, was it? Because I
Yeah.
remember hearing the story that CNN didn't report it.
Wow.
TMZ was the only.
No,
people
they
reporting
had it on the local news. They had a live stream. Like, we interrupt this program
As
to
long as
bring
they
you
get
a
it.
special report.
Okay. Now that
type
happened.
shit.
What was the aftermath of that?
Nothing.
So that's even that's Chris Brown.
But
That's
he
like-
gets on live in the house while all this is going on. Like, I'm on his side. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying you could what?
Don't sound like
He said it don't sound like it.
What I'm saying is you can avoid all of that. Like, I get what's going on, but you can avoid all of that by not doing that.
He just need a
I
girlfriend.
thought it was a video shoot. Oh no, that was a Trey
No, it
Songz.
was just after.
He
come
just
to my
need a
house.
girl. That's
just
all
like
he
Cuba
need.
Gooding Jr. was minding his business. To me, I saw the video. He was just
With
chilling.
his girl too. He was with his girl.
And
yeah.
they was all in his face.
Talking about, I love Snow Dogs. And even Kuba himself, he said, that's your favorite movie of mine? He said, that was my worst movie, right? He said, that's what he said verbatim.
But they were hanging out.
Yeah.
They were drunk.
Yeah.
You can clearly see that they were drunk.
He said, ain't the worst. Hey, Radio, that was pretty good, though. He did his thing in Radio. Temptation. Oh, he said a cruise ship.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
See, I already know about that one. I know about Fighting Temptations with Beyonce.
You know, they hit you 3 times in a row this day.
They be playing that. Ocean's 11.
And just like that football player, that recent one.
Who?
And he was in the hotel room with that girl. And
Kareem Hunt.
he put out. He found out how old she was or whatever. He didn't want her.
And she
around.
started calling him the N word.
Then he was. That's what happened at Chris Brown. The party was at his house. I'm just saying you can avoid all that.
You can't have a party like we in America.
You inviting the wrong people, bro. You inviting the wrong people back home with you, bro.
He just got to start vetting people.
You hanging out with the wrong people. You hanging out with the wrong people. You hanging out with the wrong people.
Some things you can't control. And I'm talking about from personal experience from this week. Like, you can't control certain things. You feel me?
I've been there. It's the party is over. Everybody's kicking it. Everybody just wandering around or whatever. You just like, where you going? Where you going? Where you going? I'm going here. If it's your house, don't bring everybody that says I'm going. If it's your house, or if you're going somewhere personal and you're like famous, come on now. We're not talking about people that can't get in trouble, like immediately get sued and all that shit. I'm not talking about, everybody. I'm talking about Chris Brown, these athletes. I hope it don't happen to Zion, but I seen him on Twitter doing some questionable shit. I said,
already?
Leave him alone.
What's he doing on Twitter?
Leave him alone. Calm down.
He went to do.
He said he went to do. Yeah.
So is that a white
And the
school?
darkest niggas be liking the white girls.
Especially the football players.
All my dark homies got like white girls. Like that's all they fuck with. Like it's something about it. Like I don't know. Like I'm talking about Manute Bowl type dark and
Bobo.
They don't care. Like
it's the snow bunnies, bro.
But I'm saying when you was
that's
like,
a stereotype.
oh, he mad because they ain't fuck him and this, that, and third. Like that's all speculation. Like and it's being famous. Like I have to be a hermit. I have to be a hermit because I'm scared of somebody suing me every 5 seconds.
You just stay in the house by yourself.
You could be mad because he liked your homegirl and not you. You could be mad because he didn't want to fuck you. You could be mad because whatever your reason is. That was just an example.
It comes with the territory.
But you got to be careful.
It comes with the territory.
You got a lot to lose. Was that party that he had with all that going on worth what he just went through?
He ain't Quincy Jones. Like he ain't on this. He ain't old. Like he want to have fun and.
Hey, but Quincy Jones still be having parties right now.
No,
at 85.
Fruits his labor.
Quincy be having parties at
I
85.
guarantee you, Quincy Jones was
yeah, bro, his stories was wild. His stories was wild.
When you get to a certain level, you gotta have a certain type of fun, bro. You can't do what everybody doing.
But Jamie Foxx, he be having parties.
Have him, but did he get in trouble?
That's true.
He probably vets the people that he hangs out with.
They say he been having them for years.
For real?
Like, yeah.
Oh, those kind of parties.
Jamie Foxx, but they say he throw the best parties. Like celebrities say he throw the best parties.
But has he gotten in trouble from, or has he gotten?
All kind of accusations put on him.
Yeah.
Really? I've not seen any like legal. I'm talking about these where your fucking livelihood is in jeopardy, your freedom's in jeopardy type shit.
Bill Cosby type of stuff?
Yeah.
But Bill Cosby was on some Bill Cosby stuff.
Anyway,
That was a different time.
Right.
this was a different time and day. You guys, I don't know. Something happened in our favorite company, which is more like a kingdom. I don't even know. It's a company.
Facebook? By the way, Cam, we got like 100 followers on Facebook, and we just created it.
Oh, good. Follow us
already.
on Facebook and say something. Damn, why is everybody so scared to talk on there?
Yeah.
They know all your business already.
It's
Don't
growing,
be scared.
though.
They know what your opinion.
Right.
You comment on everything.
Right.
All the things you like, they collect all that.
Yeah.
So they
All that
know
data.
more about you than they think you know.
Right.
So anyway, they are going to have their own cryptocurrency soon. Which makes sense because they're like another country. I think that the way these mega corporations are starting to get, how much money they're starting to attain, they should be in a different class, right? I think so.
Yeah.
And they should be. Do you think they should be regulated?
Got to, because it's like.
Do you think they should be
I
regulated?
don't know.
Do you think they should be regulated? Oh, do you think they should be regulated?
Facebook.
Just made like Amazons, the Facebooks, the Twitters. You don't think they should be regulated?
I mean, I think that they should pay their fair tax shit.
I mean, the tax thing.
You know, they
yes.
Should, that to me, yeah, because you know they got a lot of people working for them.
Right.
And you know, at least then too, I'm sure this dude got a lot of programs going on because he's making a lot of bread.
Right.
And
Zuckerberg.
Some of that we don't know. And it was also funny too. I saw the dude when Bernie Sanders went up to that Walmart meeting, and he pretty much was like, you know, saying people should get more money. Homeboy was on camera like, look, if they change the laws, you know, pretty much how Donald Trump said he slid through the cracks of the loopholes and everything. This dude pretty much sitting there looking at the rules that he got to abide by. If they change them, he can give people more money.
So the reason why I'm asking y'all what y'all think is because just like my homeboy Elliot just said, if you feel yes when you vote, when you pick a person that believes that, because there's arguments on both sides. So Facebook basically is going to create its own cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I seen that.
And they're going to have another company that they're going to form is Calibra, which would be the monetary system that they that kind of houses the cryptocurrency. So they're going to have to form another entity. So
but
just
see,
like
that it'll be like PayPal though, because
it'll
be connected to like a real money entity where you won't get jerked.
It's easier for you to spend money. Yes. So they want to develop its own digital cryptocurrency wallet and integrate the wallet into their Facebook products. The company will become a member of the nonprofit Libra Association and have equal voting power, the partners as Facebook's official representatives. So you hear that? So that will include Uber, Lyft, eBay, and PayPal, along with several other tech companies, financial service providers, venture capitalists, and fellow nonprofits. So this is going to be a nonprofit organization. That way, Facebook can say it does not solely control the currency or the network by itself. So they're doing that so that they won't be regulated or they you know. So it also gets the benefit of having twice the representation as their other companies, excuse me. Calibra is how Facebook, I don't even know if I'm saying this right, Calibra, Calibra, is how Facebook intends to make money off Libra, which is the digital cryptocurrency. It says it does not want to control, despite having created it. They said they don't want to control it, but they've created it so that you can make things easier. So it's going to put Facebook in financial services. No other tech company has done that yet.
Wow.
So think of it as the bank of Facebook. So they're going to have that much power. So it's going to be an arm of social media network that hopes to do for loans, credit, money transfers, and commerce what it's done for online communication. So that's going to put a lot of people into the cryptocurrency game, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about all this? That's big, bro.
It is.
I don't think people, and this is another thing. I say this about millennials because on this show we look at everything from, you know, everybody's point of view. And one of the things I say is millennials don't take things serious enough for me.
I agree.
Yeah. And I say that because there are so many of you and you guys kind of lead the way as far as tech goes. And because it wasn't taken seriously enough, tech has become this huge, tech and social media, this huge thing that has like really little to no regulation, little to no like.
No, you know what? Not to say we don't take things serious. I think we just fearless, and we don't fear anything, if anything. And even like even with the tech and the internet, it has taken off, but it's taken off on everybody, not just millennials. It just moved so fast that we just never was able to catch up to it. And I don't think we ever gonna be able to catch up to it.
But the thing is, and this is what I could take some responsibility for, you know, because more of people my age do this than you guys. Even if you don't understand some technology, you buy it. You'll buy a phone number 7, and you don't even understand how 5 and 6 worked, But because they came out with a new one, like you're letting the technology take a pace that you can't keep up with.
You have to.
You kind of have to.
No,
but
you have to. Or you're gonna continue to be behind. Like that's the reason people are behind. Like because you getting the old and they forcing you to keep like it's moving so fast that you got to buy a new iPhone every year.
That's true.
These iPhones do the same thing.
But do you know that if you? Facts. But this is, and I'm glad you brought that up because Apple to me, really, really, really. Just I don't know, but if y'all didn't keep buying those phones so fast when they started making them,
it's Droid too.
You didn't have to. In the beginning, and this is Android's operating system. Is in what does Apple use? iOS or something like that? Okay. You don't have an Android phone. You have a phone that uses an Android operating system. So people like, I got an Android phone. No, you don't. You might have like an LG or you might have a whoever else makes phones. But Apple is the only one that uses iOS, right? Okay. But
every other phone
Android uses other people use.
BlackBerry uses Android on it.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think
about a BlackBerry.
So for Apple to have its own operating system that only operates on its own products, and for Android to market their stuff to other phone companies, it kind of put them as having to do that because Apple was doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I still blame Apple for that. I still blame Apple because, like you said, one phone doesn't really do too much more than the other phone does. They kind of have to throw stuff in there to make it appealing to you. But y'all didn't have to do all that, bro. Y'all ruined the whole game.
Apple. You can't be mad at Apple. And I say that because Apple is a business.
Yep.
Of course I'm going to keep trying to upsell. I'm going to keep trying to sell you. Like, I'm going to sell you until you stop buying.
Wow.
But that's what my point was from this very beginning, and I'm glad you said that. That's what I'm saying. We didn't have to keep... We had the power before, and now with the power, we don't have the power anymore, right? So anyway, going back to the whole point of this conversation about Facebook becoming a bank, that's scary to me, and it kind of reminds me of like, you know how they say there's gonna be one currency, and you're gonna have to get the stamp and all that.
It's moving towards that eventually.
I'm like. Damn.
Think about Apple Pay with your phone.
I don't trust Facebook like that. They just have way too much information. And now them with your money, I don't know.
So they already got your personal data, and then with the money as well. That's a lot.
I always say, man, it's with the information, like if they want to find me, they gonna find me. Yeah, they gonna find me. Like, and when it comes to the money with the they can get all that information.
So the rest of the cryptocurrency that's out there is not regulated at all. But because Facebook has all your other information, not regulated. It's not regulated, but it also has no identity behind your footprint or whatever what's in your cryptocurrency wallet. It's just a chain of code that tells people who you are. But if Facebook has its own currency, clearly they're gonna know who has what, how much, where they spent it at. Like it's way too much for me personally.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a lot of information. And then too, once you start incorporating finances in that too, and you already got social media with Facebook as well, it's like they're trying to have everything all at one time.
It says we want to make sending money as easy as sending text messages.
So let's say that somebody hacks the system.
They hack it all the time.
Right. So then you have all that.
I think one of y'all said it's just the same. It's like PayPal. It's just more convenient.
Yeah.
Like I think what Facebook is trying to do is just centralize everything.
All in one.
That's what people
Facebook Messenger already has a payment system.
That's
I don't know
if
they
just trying to
you can send money to people.
PayPal,
it's just like
you can send
Cash
money to people. You can send money to people through PayPal.
Wow.
So
the world's changing.
It'll be available to anyone with a cheap Android smartphone. Why'd they have to say it like that?
That's some interesting stuff.
There will also be a real identity component to mitigate the risk that Libra will be used to facilitate crimes. Yo, you could sell weed with it and all that.
Cash App.
Yep.
That's all the same.
Another company could theoretically build an anonymous Libra wallet, though, so that mitigation here is primary to Facebook's
Honestly, I feel like we should trust Facebook. Like we trust Cash App. Cash App
you
came out of nowhere.
You should never trust Facebook.
Don't
Cash App did come up out of nowhere. I thought it was a scam.
Word, me too.
I thought Cash App was a scam, bro.
Long time to download Cash App.
Facebook been around for this long. Of course, they did some
bullshit. But
bullshit.
they are in some shit all the time. They are always in some shit.
We trust Cash App.
The reason why Facebook is not, the reason why Mark Zuckerberg is not like in trouble right now is because there has been no company to do this. The precedent has never been set, so there's no laws. So we don't know
what can happen.
Like there's no laws, and whenever he goes to the Senate or wherever,
he be finessing too.
He be finessing. Yeah. He be finessing the shit out of them. We need y'all. This is why we need y'all to please in tech, because some of y'all get into politics.
Speaking of tech, man, make sure y'all come out this Saturday. Innovative Black is having
a
tech
this Saturday.
Yeah,
okay.
Some black tech people.
Hey, I'm gonna be there this Saturday. I got
what time,
from
please?
5 to 8.
I'm gonna be there.
So, yeah, make sure y'all.
So how do we get our tickets?
You know, y'all part of. Matter of fact, you RSVP.
Yeah, let them know.
On Eventbrite. We got an Eventbrite link. You can go to Eventbrite RSVP.
I'm gonna be there.
We're gonna have a chef in here. You know, with some food.
Which one? Is it that lady again with the fried chicken wings?
Nah, it's another guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's pretty good too.
Same dude from last time?
Nah, my guy out of town. Nah, he out of town, but I got somebody else coming. You know, he was. I was at a event.
Hey, isn't it Lou that makes those sweet potato things?
Souffle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's he been?
Bro, Lou, he do everything. He in Miami right now.
We got a few vendors pulling up. Possibly we gonna probably have only music visual shooting in the back.
This gonna be dope,
pictures
bro.
in the back. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So.
Jay Black on that promoter, right? Like you really.
But I agree with you on the tech though. We need to learn more about tech.
Yeah.
I think tech should get more into politics or just get more into teaching people about security. Nothing is private anymore. Like you guys were saying, even Equifax, they got hacked. We talked about that before too. But I don't know. Facebook makes me very nervous.
It takes that. You know, too, just like what you said again, the same energy that we use, towards playing sports or towards going to school, we got to use that same energy when it comes to technology as well. Because, I mean, if you think about it, we're already on our phones anyways. The kids grow up on an iPad.
We need to demand more from them. We need to demand more from them as far as security. What'd you say? You asking me a question? You said
what
as far as them protecting our stuff.
Well, I tell you, when I on my Wells Fargo, anytime I use this thing, and most of the time I go overseas, and that's when I start seeing most of the activity where somebody might try to get in my account or.
Oh, really?
It's happened a few times.
Overseas?
And instantly, I call them.
You shut it down.
Done, money back in my account. That's protection for your ass when you using your card while you out there. Whether it's that, my PayPal.
But I think that when you travel, it puts an alert on your account and they monitor it.
Online, you know, whether I'm buying something, they make me put a code in. Before, it wasn't so much like that, but because so much is happening, they like, we trying to protect you, you know. So when you using your money like this, even when you invest in cryptocurrency, they have to track, like, it's money, but it's digital money that you can't see.
There's no tracking.
That's a weird, but you can spend it.
Yeah, you can spend it, but you can't touch it.
You can invest in it, and it's really like how stocks and bonds are, but in a digital cloud way where they can keep track of it more.
Who is they? There's no they.
Yes, it is.
Who?
The people that Bitcoin.
Oh, okay.
And all these companies, they're owned by this. I saw. I don't know if it's a young dude, but a dude that started it because. You got to think, like, with gambling, casinos.
It's a big industry.
So when you look at 50, he invested in that early, and he forgot about it.
Wow.
Yeah, he did. And then he came up on it. Wow. We talked about that before.
He had to understand it, to understand what he had, because a lot of people had that and then didn't have it, and it wasn't real. And
I think that eventually that if they are able to regulate it, I would be more... Because it's just like you said, it's like the stock though. Like the market price goes up and down. Some people lost money. Some people still have invested in it, and you know the price is going to fluctuate. And 50, because he forgot about it based on what he paid for it initially. Because when Bitcoin started popping, that's when his money like quadrupled.
Wow!
Right. But he didn't realize it was in that way until he looked into it and was like, "Oh wait, I got something in this."
Wow.
So,
you see an extra $2 million.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And exactly. I think it was extra 7 or something like that. Yeah. I was like, damn.
So, speaking of social media, y'all.
Yeah.
Last week, the Philadelphia Police Union fired some people because they were on social media saying racist shit.
Did they fire them or lay them off?
What do you mean? Suspended or fired them?
Suspended.
Some of them got suspended, but some of them got fired.
70 of them, wasn't it? 72?
72.
Wow.
So I was on the internet reading about this, and you know how we talk about how they spin stuff or whatever. So I've pulled up Fox News. I just wanted to see what they had to say about it. So this article says Philadelphia Police Union calls commissioner irresponsible amid investigation into alleged racist anti-Muslim social media posts. You see how that's worded? Does that sound... Philadelphia Police Union calls commissioner irresponsible amid investigation into alleged racist...
How is it...
The thing that threw me off was...
proven.
He calls it... So they think that was wrong that they got reprimanded for... You should have been found out what their social media was like. Exactly. Before you even hired them. That should be a part of the vetting process. I can't go to... when I look for a job... If I'm in financial services, if I'm in insurance, if I'm in just as a customer service representative, companies don't let you work there if they check your social media profile. Some of them do, just like they check your credit.
I think that's almost standard now.
That's general, bro. Background check too.
My company that I worked for previously gave me a personality test.
Yeah. Yep, that's what they do
to see how well you work with the people that are in, to see what personality they need as a part of the dynamic of their team.
Yep.
This is what Fox News article says. The head of the Philadelphia Police Union has accused the city's police commissioner of being premature and irresponsible with comments about expecting officers to be fired over alleged racist and anti-Muslim social media posts. So they think that it's an overreaction. Our officers are entitled to due process just like any other citizen. Philadelphia Fraternal Order of Police President John McNesby said in a statement calling for complete investigation into the officer's social media use. You fucking right. A full investigation. I want you to pull all those Confederate flags, all those anti-Muslim posts, all that stuff. We want to see it. So they did. So there's actually a website that you can go to and you can actually see some of the examples of the posts that they The 72 officers have been placed on administrative duty, like you said, Jay Black, and as the department conducts an internal investigation, that 72 officers were placed on administrative duty.
Wow.
Ross said he believes several dozen of the officers will be disciplined and expects at least some to be fired. I am not prepared to tell you at this point who's disciplined and who's getting terminated, but I can tell you with a degree of certainty there are some people who will meet with that fate. Yep.
Wow.
You're getting fired.
And they rightfully should. And, I get it when it comes to due process and stuff, but how can you police and protect people that you don't even respect? So
we are equally as disgusted by many of the posts that you saw, and in many cases the rest of the nation saw, the Philadelphia Police Commissioner Richard Ross said. That's the guy that the people that wrote this article at Fox News said he's overreacting.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Internal affairs in Phoenix, St. Louis, and Dallas are probing whether the distasteful and sometimes violent material should warrant disciplinary action. So a lot of, Philadelphia, Camden, Jersey City, Houston, Miami, Tallahassee, every damn police department needs to do this. Mm-hmm. Especially ones that have had incidents of police brutality against Black, Muslim, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why isn't this done all the time everywhere anyway?
Because they don't want to do it.
Make them do it.
Yeah.
Hold your police department accountable. And if you're on social media scrolling around and you see a cop and you know a cop or somebody that is a cop, screenshot that shit.
Yeah. That's real.
Or it's anybody that's in public service.
Yeah. You're supposed to be serving the people.
You can't work. Yeah. You can be as racist as you want. Go work at Piggly Wiggly. Go work at somewhere where you don't have to deal with regular every people from all walks of life every day. Go be I don't know, but don't be a cop.
Yeah.
with some authority to be able to cause harm because of your, because of your prejudices.
And your own personal bias that can affect you policing as a cop. So, yeah, man, that's a tough thing, but much needed as well. But people, all the fakes and stuff, they'll always be exposed. But it takes time. But, I mean, I don't see multiple police departments and cities implementing this strategy, because if so, then so many people would be outed from this. So, we'll see.
This was a part of a research project that this got exposed.
Wow. Yeah.
There were 2,900 current officers, some in supervisor roles, and posted by hundreds of former police officers across 8 police departments. The database, first reported on by BuzzFeed and Justice Watch, was undertaken by Philadelphia lawyer Emily Baker White, who compiled the trove of posts in an effort to examine whether the online behavior could undermine public trust in police and make it more difficult for officers to work with minority communities. Yeah.
Right.
Duh. It would to me.
Right.
Child.
It's very interesting.
Yeah. So there's a minor hurricane out here right now, in case y'all hear thunder, lightning, and everybody's face is making me nervous. And so if the wind, if the roof starts peeling back, we might have to pause.
You know what happened?
So the lights went out at Freaknik yesterday too. Forgot to tell y'all about that briefly.
God, he was trying to shut y'all down. There's too much going on.
I thought that too.
Heathens.
I got so scared.
Heathens.
Cause I was like, if this is it, do I want my daughter and my mama and my daddy to be like, she got hit by lightning at Freaknik? Like, nah, bruh, that's not how I'm trying to go out.
You gotta think in that moment, you're supposed to think, this is it? Did I enjoy this shit?
That's true.
If you had a good time,
that's all that matters.
You went out with a bang.
And I think that I'm too I need to be less conservative. You know what I'm saying? I need to turn up some more. So, yeah, that was interesting. But then a double rainbow came out. So God loves me, and He wasn't mad.
Somebody said the rainbow. It was for Pride Month. Somebody posted that. But y'all play too much.
It was a double rainbow, so God wasn't mad at me. I'm straight.
You good. You said I got you.
And not to take away from the other topic that we're going to discuss, but so after Freaknik, we were walking because I couldn't get any cell phone service to get my Uber. So I just fell into this bar across the street from the place, right? They were being really, really slow. So the guy walks around with the microphone, just the MC of the club or whatever. And he's like, what do you, you want to give a shout out or whatever? Like, hey, lady, how you doing tonight? And my girlfriend, he gave her the mic. She was like, where's my food?
She just want her food. Kim funny, bro. She just trying to eat.
She was like, he put the mic right here.
She ain't with the
She just wanted, I thought she was going to be like, hey, yeah, we had a good time at Freaknik. She was like, where's my food?
And they probably text off of that food, too.
No, it was pretty
it was
decent.
Good? All right.
So it was funny. So when I got in my Uber, I'm getting a text message on my phone like, your Uber driver canceled your ride. I was like, oh, it's free then, huh? It was free. Like, he must have done it by mistake, but
hey, that's God looking out for you.
Man, that double rainbow, bro. I'm telling you, this week I'm gonna be so blessed. Anyway,
the rainbow.
Was that all the topics we had? No, there was something else, right?
Reparations. Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Oh my God.
She's out. That's been popping all week.
Oh my God. I want my damn money, and I want 50 Cent to be the
that's what they said.
Ambassador.
Hey, like Nipsey say, I mean, y'all keep asking for these reparations, but you gotta take it. Like, they not about to give you power. What he say? I'm gonna run up. Nipsey say, I'm gonna run up in your place for some reparations. You feel me? You gotta take it. You gotta take the reparations. But
that's facts. That's facts. And too, it's like seeing the guy, Senator McConnell, right? That was his name. And
Mitch McConnell.
And it's like,
McConnell.
Yeah, right. So seeing that Ta-Nehisi, everything he wrote was so eloquent and how he spoke, beautiful. But that shows you that the person who was speaking to it, he didn't care. Like after this, he just said like you already had the civil rights movement, you already had a black president.
So and not to cut you off, Kim, but to McConnell's point, like I feel where he coming from. Like he was like, man,
this is Drake's brother speaking.
That is Drake's brother.
This is the only light skinned guy in the room talking right now.
He said some, but he was like, man, nobody nobody that was a part of that time is alive now. Like, you feel me? And it's like, I get it. I get where I'm not saying it's right, but just like with Trump, I be getting with Trump. I be feeling Trump, but I'm not saying what it's like.
Bruh.
I see what you're saying. Cause sometimes Trump.
Like, where would he come from?
Yeah, and that's all he's trying to say.
What am I supposed to do?
Yeah. You got scared.
Yeah, sorry, I'm scared. I'm sorry, y'all.
Hey,
Did you see
God
that?
said double rainbow didn't mean nothing, bro. It came for you. But yeah, that's crazy.
So anyway, because people might not know what we're talking about, last week on Juneteenth.
It was on Juneteenth. How disrespectful.
No, that was. I'm sure they well, I don't know.
Talk about Mitch McConnell.
There was a House Judiciary Subcommittee meeting on the Constitution, Civil Rights, and Civil Liberties, and Mike Johnson, Mitch McConnell made a comment about it, and he said what you guys said. There was also another person against it. His name is Mitch Johnson. Now, this reparations study is what they're talking about. I mean, they're not talking about who's going to get what check yet. They're proposing a committee to be put together to actually study reparations. What I found out was the people that are on this committee, none of them are descendants of slaves, and that kind of turned me off. But they were discussing it. Ta-Nehisi Coates spoke. What's the actor's name? Danny Glover spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not.
Ta-Nehisi?
No, he is.
Ta-Nehisi? Yeah. Yes, he is. And
Danny Glover is?
Yeah.
Yes.
And she
was talking about on the
people that are actually on this. So the meeting that they have is about reparations. They're trying to put together an argument why they need reparations. So even to have the committee to study it, which I guess they'll come up with who gets what or how it would work or why or whatever. They were speaking about this. Ta-Nehisi, he was on one of my favorite shows, Finding Your Roots, and he found out about his African ancestry.
Check that out.
And Mitch McConnell came out and spoke and said his point. Most presidential candidates that we always talk about every week, they all give their spiel about what they feel about it. Some of them are for it, some of them are against it. So what y'all need to do is if you are pick a candidate that suits your needs. That's another thing on your checklist when you're trying to decide which one of these people you're going to support. Ta-Nehisi did break down Mitch McConnell.
He did his thing.
And was like, okay, no, basically in the way he to me interpreted, the way he said it was, no, it wasn't you. But it was like you're still reaping the benefits of it.
Very articulate too.
I didn't watch the Ta-Nehisi interview. So what did he demand? Like, what did he want?
He wants them to put together this committee. This is not to the point where they say what he wants yet. The committee is gonna do.
So
their
pretty
research.
much, he's saying why we even deserve.
Why even have this go on?
You're trying to plead a case.
Yes.
Right. Same thing. Like, why are we like?
I feel you.
Because we should.
Why do we keep asking for our own shit?
Because they can't.
You ask like if somebody was to steal your car, you gonna act like, "Bro, can you give my car back?"
the people that were alive then, and this goes back to what people talk about being mentally enslaved. The people that were alive then didn't even conceptually think that they could even be entitled. Like, it wasn't heard of. They were fucked up. They didn't even think
I completely understand
they
that.
know it. They deserved it.
They didn't understand what they were entitled to. We understand what we're entitled to. So why not ask? I mean,
the stuff that we're entitled to is the stuff from back then. This is what I'm saying. We know we're entitled.
So why not demand it? Why are we asking for it? Like, let's take it.
Yeah.
Let's take it. Like, what? Like, if somebody take your stuff, like, you're not about to ask, like,
politely.
The bully, like, bro, the bully beat you up, bro. Can you stop beating me up today? Like, you know.
But that's easy to do. That's easy to do when it's a physical thing.
I'm just saying, even if somebody takes something from you, like, you're not about to just ask them to give it back, or you gotta, even with this situation, like I always say, like, you basically asking them to give you the power of the United States.
Take it. So how do you take it? Voting, whatever. This is what some people are doing. Marching, whatever.
Creating your own.
Some people think stealing, robbing.
I think really that's a complicated question to ask right now. I think really people are doing it in their own way.
Yeah, Kennedy family did. Yeah, that's how the Kennedys
they stayed in power.
But they stayed and they cleaned it up. And two, that's why I'm on the fence.
As a family, they
stuck together. It's just like I'm on the fence too because at the same time I get it.
They have pride in their last name. Everybody can't be a Kennedy. Everybody can't get with a Kennedy. Everybody. That's the thing I want us to have.
I'm on the fence. It's tough.
And our legacy.
Because that goes back to what.
That's a great argument.
If they start giving us, like, they were supposed to give us the Harriet Tubman 20s. Money is not that valuable no more. Paper money is not really valuable no more. So it's like, if they give us something, it's just gonna be some shit.
Always gonna be a loophole to it, bro.
You know, it's gonna be something that don't matter no more. Okay, we'll give y'all $500 million, but that's only worth $5 now.
Yeah.
Like, or some, some bullshit like
always
that.
a loophole.
40 acres.
Civil rights.
Oh, we'll give you 40 acres, but
we ain't gonna teach you how to grow the crops. We ain't gonna tell you what to do.
They weren't gonna do that anyway.
Yeah.
That don't mean it don't matter no more. It's something else. Like, they're not gonna give us Silicon Valley.
Dang.
You feel me?
That's real.
They're not gonna give us, something that's going into the future. They gonna give us something that's old, that's some
already gone.
So the committee that they put together, gathered on Capitol Hill to discuss House Resolution 40, known officially as the Commission to Study and Develop Reparation Proposals for African Americans Act. The bill was first brought before the House in 1989 by John Conyers. Okay. After they took a poll, only 26% of Americans support compensation or cash benefits to descendants of Black American slaves. And while a majority of Black Americans endorse the idea, few polls show their support. It's only 60% that support it. And I think, too, it's because people still don't think that they're entitled to it. When I read about descendants of slaves, they talking about me. I get emotional. I get mad. I get, like, that's like, they might as well just put my name right there. But I think that some people don't know.
At all.
I don't think some people know that they're descendants of slaves. I think that some families have buried that part of their past and they just don't talk about it. And so people don't know. And they moved away from the South and they just bury that history in their family and they move on because of the mental anguish, because of what it did to them. They look at it as a burden and a bad thing, and they don't want to pass it down to any more of their generations. And I think because of that, people don't think they're entitled to it. People don't think that it's worth it. People don't think they deserve it. And that's where I'm at with it, because I want my money, and I'm glad that they're doing this. And whatever I could do, I don't even know if it's money. When I say money, I want whatever they're gonna.
And that'd be my question. Like,
I know,
we talked about it before. Like, what do you want, Kim? Like,
but like, this is hard for me because, like I said, I ride past the house where my family worked at all the time. I want that house. I want that land. I want some of the property. If you can't trace yours back to something like, a physical thing, hey, maybe your family worked for, I don't know, the Kellogg family. You might be entitled to 700 shares or whatever. Like, whatever they determine it is.
I'm sure it's probably hard too, but do they have the stats out of how many people are descendants of slaves?
You need to find out on your own, just like the Indians. Some people need to find out.
I'm asking for the simple fact
that
is
the information out there.
Say if it's 100,000 descendants of slaves, you're not gonna be able to satisfy 100,000 people. Like, how are they gonna satisfy 100,000 people?
Each 100,000 people, there's got to be 100,000 different ways, 100,000 different stories. Figure it the fuck out. It's not on me. I'm the benefactor here.
And look,
you figure it out.
And to your point, it's like with Native Americans, and there's even white people who try to even get the 2% Native American, and they can get benefits for college for them. Because Joe Rogan's audio guy, he was saying that he was able to get his schooling paid for.
Right, figure it out like you figured it out for everybody else.
Japanese families in the internment camps, when they were all throughout America, each family got like $20K.
And this man from Louisiana that spoke against it, because they had people for it and they had people against it speak. So Mike Johnson, a Republican from Louisiana, so you know what he thinks about it, right? Yeah. And his family probably had 50 million people help them do whatever.
Right.
He said that, like, basically the will of God was what made slaves be slaves.
Hold on, what?
Like, I mean,
come on, fam.
He didn't say that, but some people they just think that that's just, oh well, like, that's what happened, and oh well, like, everyone's dead now, and oh well, like, yeah, it happened. And we saw a couple years ago people starting to apologize. Marianne Williamson, one of the people that I think would make a good president because I love her philosophies, she's been saying since the 90s, like, until you pay them people, you're always going to have dissension and strife. You're putting a curse on your descendants now, because your descendants, she didn't say this, but I'm just saying, like, it's just burden. You're not exempt from the law of any of the laws of the universe. Like, that's just how it is. Yeah. Now you see that people, like, now this country is in debt to a whole bunch of other countries. Like, you put this on yourself, and they're just trying to, like, Charleston apologized because that was one of the biggest ports. We talked about that on a previous episode. How the Charleston came out and apologized for being a part of the whole slave trade. I like apologies, but I like money more.
Let me ask you this. Speaking to that, even to that point, do you feel like if they gave, say it's 100,000 people, if they gave everybody $1 million, you think that'll settle everything?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, if they gave you $1 million, would that settle? Would that be cool for you?
That's the start, yeah.
Because honestly, I feel like that'll settle. Like, if they gave me, like, everybody in my family, like, everybody individually, $1 million.
Yeah.
And that's a jump start.
Because it's like, shoot, you can buy this land. Now I can start buying this property.
Or buy whatever you need to buy.
Or businesses, you can accelerate that for yourself.
This is what they're saying about, this is what, this is from NY Magazine, and this is what they said. So basically, in his statement, he invoked the will of God, Martin Luther King Jr., and the opinion of his adopted 35-year-old black son. And, you know, some white people think that you can have black kids, black friends, and still not be racist, but we know that's not true. That only reparations are wrong, impractical, and probably illegal. They would harm black Americans' dignity by depriving them of meaning into the meaning injected into their lives by having to achieve equality without government aid. So they think that they'd hurt our feelings by just giving it to us, and we wouldn't appreciate it because we didn't work for it.
But we did. That's why we're in the position that we're in right now.
So if the government were to pay black people reparations, Johnson argues it would rob them of satisfaction in knowing that they made it on their own. So
who's made it on their own in America? I'm just trying to find out.
So one of the
myths, what are we talking about?
So back in the day, Franklin D. Roosevelt had this plan called the New Deal, right? And the New Deal, they gave things to white people that black people were not entitled to.
GI Bill too.
They had a bunch of segregationist congressmen. This is back when people wanted black people and white people to live separately. We started making it our own. They started hating on us. We talked about that before too. But basically, the unprecedented government investment in social welfare is what came out of the New Deal, right? The New Deal created union protection for workers. It established Social Security for older Americans. It insured home loans. It funded college. It provided job training and employment opportunities for military veterans. And more of half of them were men in their 20s and 30s. It amounted to cumulatively the most significant government handout in American history. The results were devastating for black Americans. By 1984, most of the GI Bill mortgages had matured. The median white household had a net worth of $39,000 compared to less than $3,400 for a median black household. And that's according to historian Ira Cat Nelson, I think is her last name. Imagine two countries, one rich and one poor. And that was what's going on in this one country back then. So that in itself was just one of the examples they used as to why white people got a jump start, so to speak, in their families and in their lives and in their legacies to have generational wealth. And not to mention the laws that were put in place, Jim Crow, blah, 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 that stopped, you know, like, it's just that type of shit. Like, figure it out. You figured out how to stop it. So put this committee together and figure out what you should give people. But just know, saying that we shouldn't get it is not the way to start this off. Let's just go there. Just the realization that, yeah, you probably should get something. I would take that right now.
Sell you a dream, like a politician.
I don't want you to sell me a dream. I want you to recognize the fact that we built this country for free.
Basically, like, toy with us, like, ridicule is like, yeah, you do deserve this.
And we're gonna work toward getting it to you.
Yeah, you do deserve this.
Don't talk against it.
We gonna work on it. We gonna work on it
every year.
Like, you gonna tell a little kid, like, yeah, we gonna get it. Like, no, don't.
No, I want you to work on it. I don't want you to come out and say. No, don't just. I don't want you to say what this dude said.
So you stringing me along.
I don't want you to
I'd rather you say like, nah, I'm not giving you shit. So I can know, like, instead of like you telling me like, yeah, like, instead of you telling me like, oh, we gonna work on it, but in your head you like, I'm not giving y'all shit.
Yeah, that's real. I think that's what makes this whole discussion like very complex, because at the same time, of course, we deserve the money, but then it's like, do you really want to beg these people or even explain?
You know, I know the reason why we feel like, even my dad, and when I asked him about it, I'm like, dude, you should be the first one. I saw a picture of you picking cotton.
Yeah.
Like,
what's his take on it?
He ain't begging nobody for nothing.
He said, they ain't about to give us no money. He said,
because he know.
And he said, they've been talking about this since Bill Clinton. And I said, who, Daddy? He said, the people. I said, well, now they're bringing it to the government. He said, oh, well, I don't know. And I said, Daddy, like, I was disappointed in him. And I'm like, this is why a lot of black people they just don't think, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That kind of made me mad at him. And I started going, my voice probably got a little too loud for him, because he was like, oh. He said, this is why nobody listens to y'all, because you're too loud and you're too radical. Like, you go places and you have these conversations, you sit at these tables with these people, and you start acting like you're acting right now. And that's why I'm like, see, nah, I'm not listening to that either. I don't care how you ask. You know what I mean? Like, that's that Martin Luther King, Malcolm X shit. I don't care how you ask. Like, get it done. Get it done. We need 50 Cent at this meeting next time.
Yeah.
50 Cent is going to go in there with his gun drawn.
This go back to our, I know you joking, but it go back to our, we putting too much trust in entertainers. Like, we putting our reparations
50 Cent save us.
Real life on it. We put that in the hands of an entertainer.
Yeah. Not literally, but I need somebody. He's a bill collector though.
He is.
I need somebody with that type.
He said for himself.
And you see, you feel me? If somebody takes something from him, he's not even getting that back.
ADOS, because his mom, she's from Jamaica, right?
I don't know.
50's mom.
No,
yeah,
they're from down south, right? His grandmother that raised him, ain't they from like North Carolina or something?
50's mom? Probably was.
Most people my age that live in New York and in New Jersey are either from down south or from the
Great
islands.
Migration, bro.
Yeah, or the islands. We're first generation East Coast, most of us. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of people that their family is from there and their parents and grandparents lived up there. But most of us, our families are from the South.
Yeah.
Or Jamaica, Haiti, Africa, whatever.
We'll see what happens with the reparations, but it's.
And
it's
by
very
the way, Senator Cory
see.
Booker from Newark, New Jersey is for it. He was there and he spoke too.
Okay. Corny Cory.
Why are you calling him that?
Cory Booker, he a little corny. But he cool though.
He's the president. He's not
the president,
a basketball player or he's like he ain't trying to be not corny.
We'll see though. We'll see about everything with reparations. Hopefully it works. If it doesn't work, back to the drawing boards.
No, it will work, and I need y'all to support this. Do y'all think we should have it?
I mean, I feel like
they be like, you are descendant of slaves? Because I don't know.
Drop some mic.
Right. Enslaved. Nah, but Kim, if you think about every great achievement that we've had, like slavery that becoming abolished, then you get the Jim Crow system or you get the Black Codes. Then if you think about Civil Rights Act, all this stuff. Yeah.
I know. I had interviewed Kirk's grandfather.
Enslaved people, not slaves.
So you should get.
No, for real. I said enslaved people, not slaves.
I think, like in my ear, I can hear this. Whatever he's saying, but I can't make it out. But he keeps saying it.
What? Enslaved people, not slaves? That's a real statement.
Why are you saying it like that, though?
What?
You're like, enslaved people, not slaves. I'm like, what is that noise? And then I looked at you, you're like, enslaved people, not slaves.
That's your conscience.
Okay, for me to not say that anymore. Thank you. That was a great conscious voice. But anyway, I think we should, man, get with it. So that knocks out Bernie Sanders for your vote because you want reparations and he doesn't. Well, actually, he wants it in the way of like free college and some other stuff.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah, it's tangible.
I don't want none of like. I don't know.
It's gonna be a loophole.
You don't want anybody that's coming with the dream like, yeah, I want it, but they haven't gotten a way to get it, and you at least appreciate Bernie because he wants to give it in that way. That's what you're saying.
I mean, he basically putting, I guess, a tangible thing out there. Like, if you, we want this. Like he said, he's making a demand. Don't just say I want reparations. Okay, what type of reparations you want?
I want property. I want property. Me personally, I want property. Me personally, I want property.
Man.
I wouldn't mind if my family got that house that they turned into. They can
mess around, give us reparations, and be like the $1 million. Oh, we'll give you $1 million, but you can only spend $5 a day or something.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Hey, it's always gonna be a loophole because
but
it's
if
always
we don't,
they got control.
There you go.
What we can do with the reparations.
If we don't gain some financial literacy, if they give it to us, we're just gonna give it right back to them anyway.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, but if they put in these different stipulations on the money, then
I think we should get so financially literate that we know what we want to do with it and to make more money, make more, you know. All right, y'all. We're going to wrap it up this week. We had a good episode. We had a couple of guests in our audience. Thank you guys, because we like when people come by. So let us know if you want to come by. Follow us on CTD_ATL on Instagram. Make sure you follow Innovative Black Station on all social media platforms. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. Yep. Make sure you find us wherever you get your podcast from. Look for us, Connecting the Dots. Make sure you get one of these shirts. And have a good week. We'll see you next week.